Hi friends, Ambey Jatin, international cricketer from Goa, back again on Sports Dangal. Today I have one famous personality of Indian cricket who has represented India. First let me introduce him, Jatin V.Paranjape. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ambey.
Is Jatin V.Paranjape, who has played for India in one days, played for India under 19s, and then been on with BCCI on different posts of selection and more, and with Nikes. Welcome, Jatin.
Thank you.
I'll come straight to the point. What age you started playing cricket, Jatin?
I started when I was about 9 or 10 years old.
Okay.
I used to go with my father for all the Dadi Union matches.
Okay.
I used to do the scoring in those matches. So, in those days you didn't have all these digital platforms to do the scoring on. So it was the old-fashioned big score books which you had. So I used to really enjoy that, and then I was playing some tennis ball cricket in the school. And one gentleman called Mr. Kumar Tamane, who was the coach at Don Bosco, he saw me playing that rubber ball cricket, and then he asked me to start coming to the school practice from the next day. So maybe 9 or 10 years old.
So that was the start of your cricket?
That was the start of my cricket.
So you got into the knack of cricket. Did you play football? Because Don Bosco means the football was there.
No, I didn't play football, but my first sport was hockey.
Oh.
Because Don Bosco is also very, very well known for its hockey team.
Okay.
So Edgar Mascarenhas, for example,
Yeah.
So he's from Don Bosco, a batchmate of mine. So I played a little bit of hockey, but then the cricket bug just got me completely.
So once you got into cricket, you're from a family of a person, Vasu Paranjape sir, late Vasu Paranjape sir, who we call Dronacharya, who is one of the masters of cricket in Mumbai cricket and also Indian cricket, who has developed so many guys. Being his son, and it must have been an easy platform for you to start. How was it like? Can you just express yourself?
I thought it was, learning the game was easy for me, because he was always talking about the game. So I think imbibing about this game, about the nuances of this game, was very accessible for me. Because a lot of his friends, Mr. Gavaskar, Mr. Vengsarkar, Raj Singh Dungarpur, they would all be coming home, and there was always a cricket atmosphere. So learning about the game was great, but he was also a tough taskmaster when it came to coaching. But he actually, realized that he needs me to go to somebody who's kind of better than him in teaching the foundations of the game. So he sent me to Mr. Vasant Amladi.
Oh.
So that's how my journey started.
So your start was Vasant Amladi?
Absolutely.
Wow.
He had just 2 students at Parsi Gymkhana Marine Line.
Okay.
Zubin Barucha and me.
Wow.
So we used to go there, and for 2 years he completely looked after me, and he built the entire basis of my game in those 2 years.
I didn't know this, sir. Jatin and me, we studied together in Pudar College, been with my mate all the time. And coming back to how did you get into the school and the Pudar, how the cricket stuff?
So I started playing for Don Bosco. It was not a very well-known cricket school, but then I started doing well, and then I realized that I want to play for a good college, good strong college team, and Pudar was the best. So that's how I wanted to get into Pudar. Luckily, I got enough marks, so I got in academically and not through the sports quota. And I started playing there, and then V.S. Patil sir was our coach, and a very, very strict man of few words, but you know how it was, and that was the next step. So after Don Bosco came Pudar College. At the same time as Pudar College came Dadi Union. So from Don Bosco I was introduced to 2 great cultures, Pudar and Dadi Union, and that really, whatever I am today is just because of that education.
Dadi Union cultures and Pudar culture, two cultures, but the streamline was one.
Absolutely. I mean, it was a culture of discipline, of teamwork, of honesty, of playing
commitment,
of playing hard, being committed, but never intimidating anybody, never sledging anybody. It was all very hard cricket. So for me, it was no better foundational ground for me than that.
You got straight into India. You played Bombay under 19. I remember your journey, and then you were already playing for India under 19, but at the age of 17, I guess. And you had a big tour to Pakistan.
Yes.
Tell me something about that.
Yeah, in fact, I was surprised that I got picked for that tour.
Don't say that.
No, they had 2 practice matches and 2 selection matches, and I didn't do too well. But somehow they picked me, and it was a great education. I remember the first match, and I was selected, and I remember there was an article in the Times of India, because my father was the director of coaching at that time, and there was an article in the Times of India that how did he get picked in the team. So I went to Pakistan like really tense. It was the India under-19 tour to Pakistan. Went very, very tense, and the first game I played, I got a pair. I got 0 in the first inning, 0 in the second inning. So I was like, oh my God, how is this going to pan out? But very quickly I hit my straps, and I ended up being the highest scorer of that tour. I scored 560 runs on that tour. After
you got a brilliant match-saving 100.
I got some runs there, and again that was a huge education, because played just faster bowlers, and I remember coming back to India and then playing in the nets at Poddar just became a walk in the park, because it was
you played Wakar, you played Akib.
Yeah, all these big guys were really quick.
Jatin, under 19 India and Ranji Trophy still not playing for Mumbai. Yeah. What was the story behind this match?
No, I mean, I remember when India went to Pakistan, Pakistan came to India, I think within 6 months, and I was not picked. I was playing for India under 19, but I was not picked for the Bombay Ranji Trophy probables.
Yeah.
I couldn't understand it. I still don't. But then I thought that if I do well, they'll pick me. And I scored 100 against Pakistan at Kolkata at the Eden Gardens, and I flew back to Bombay late that night. And next day was the selection of the Mumbai team. Again, I was not there. So I don't know, for some reason in those days, India under 19 maybe didn't mean a lot to the selectors. Now it certainly does.
Okay, then you got a lot of hundreds and double hundreds in college matches and in time shield matches. Yeah. And there was no chance for you to be kept out, and then you had to pick you up. Not only squad, you were in the playing 11.
Yes.
Tell me about your debut match for Ranji Trophy.
I was that debut game was against Gujarat at Surat. Okay. And my sister lives in Surat, so she still lives in Surat, and it was at the railway stadium there. And I was in such good nick that I knew I was just hoping that I get a chance to play, and I was hoping that I bat number 3. So Shishir Hatangri was my captain, and he gave me the number 3 spot. Wow. And I got 100 on debut. It's funny, I have 100 on debut in the Ranji Trophy, 100 on debut in the Irani Trophy.
Wow.
And 100 on debut in the Deodhar Trophy.
I think the Irani Trophy is a big one. It's a held back record for a long time.
Yeah. So I was just in good nick. As a player, you need to be selected when you're in good nick, when you're batting well, when you're scoring runs, when you're bowling well, when you're taking wickets. It then just becomes that.
And then you walk into the Indian side. You get picked up for the Indian one-day side. How was it all like?
Yeah, it was great. Superb feeling, and proudly can wear that cap today. So,
who was your captain?
Mohammad Azharuddin was the captain. Okay. It was a very strong team. Sachin was playing, Rahul Dravid, Saurav Ganguly, Venkatesh Prasad, Javagal Srinath, Kumble. So very strong side. Unfortunately, I got injured in my 4th game and then could never come back.
You were slowly grooming into the team, and then this happened.
I think they had Anshu sir was the coach. Okay. And they wanted to kind of groom me for the number 5 kind of.
And then this happened.
Yeah, and these things.
I think later on, I think Yuvraj took that place, and
but Yuvraj much better player than me.
But it was the way it went. Coming back to off cricket zone, you got employed with Nikes, and you were a part of Nike main team. Tell us something about that.
Yeah, after I stopped playing cricket, I worked with an Australian sports marketing company called Sporting Frontiers for about 3 years. Then did something on my own, but met with a very bad road accident, where I got run over by a car while crossing the road. So I was at home for 4 or 5 months. My business had crashed completely, and my wife was supporting the family because she was a journalist with the Times of India. And out of the blue, I got a call from somebody at Nike, and they wanted to meet me. They had just come into India and signed like a big ticket deal with the BCCI, and I ended up being with the company for 10 plus years, and great company, great friendships, super smart people, and it's always been my favorite brand. When I was growing up playing cricket, Nike was always my favorite brand, but I could never afford it. It was always just that one step further to what I could afford. So we ended up buying high tech and Reebok and that kind of stuff. But
Modest Jatin.
yeah, no, I've worked for Nike. Unbelievable experience.
Tell us something about your exposures to different personalities in the sport field. Cristiano, and you said a lot of things happened with Virat and all that stuff.
Yeah, so worked with, lucky enough to work with some great international athletes, Virat, Sachin from the BCCI, obviously, Cristiano, worked with Roger Federer, worked with Wayne Rooney, Zlatan, Pep Guardiola.
Must have been a great experience altogether.
So, all the big clubs, Arsenal, United, Sir Alex Ferguson, met him a few times as well. Worked with Inter, worked with Juventus, worked with Barcelona, worked with Atletico Madrid. So yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing.
Snapshot round, very tricky round, the Dangal round with Jatin. You prefer Goa or Bombay?
Goa.
Oh my God! Fish curry ki dal rice?
Dal rice.
Sea ki mountains?
Oof, tough one.
Yeah.
Mountains.
Which is the best time of your life which you like to remember always?
I think becoming a father was one of my greatest moments. I think becoming a parent is God's way of making everybody feel like a superhero.
And the worst moment you like to forget always?
I think you go through so many things in life, and then
You already forgotten.
you have to learn from it. You have to learn from it. Don't look back. Look in front.
What do you hate the most?
Honking is my favorite.
You keep putting comments on.
I hate bad driving and honking, which we have too much of both in India.
We talked about a lot of things, and then you got into admin field of cricket with the BCCI. You are a selector, and you are currently also with the advisory committee. Tell us something about it. What is the role, and what is the different kind of role you play when you're playing and when you're out of the track?
Yeah, so the current committee I am on is the Central Advisory Committee. It's in charge of appointment of the selectors for men and women. It's in charge of appointment of the head coaches and also a little bit of the support staff. So it's an incredibly important, critical kind of position where you have to understand from the team management, from the players, from the BCCI, so what's the game plan going forward, and then you
appointing of coaches, appointing a lot of things.
It's really serious stuff. And I think Indian cricket right now is at a crossroads. We are going to be transitioning into the next phase of Indian cricket. Some great young players around. So all in all, it's about 6-7 meetings a year, but all incredibly important stuff.
Brilliant, Jatin. And ultimately, you're still living your dream, or lifetime dream, of Khelomore.
Yeah.
And tell us something about Khelomore. I would like to hear that from you.
I think Khelomore is basically an access to sports platform. Today, just think about it. Think about your friends, and whoever is watching this show, just think about your friends. They're all wanting to play sport, most of them. But do they have a platform where they can access a coach or a venue or somebody to play with? They don't. For food we have Swiggy or Zomato. For travel we have Make My Trip. For e-commerce we have Amazon. But for sport we don't have anything. So this is what we are building. So today we have more than 3,000 venues on the app which are fully bookable. Now we'll start listing thousands of coaches. We'll give you the ability to socially connect with other people who are playing the same sport. See, today there's such a lot of workplace migration in India. So say you're from Mysore and you have your cricket team there, but you move to Hyderabad, your cricket is gone. So when you come to Hyderabad, you can put it on the Khelomore feed and say, I'm looking to join a cricket team, and many teams will come and contact you. So we are trying to make this platform to be the glue between demand and supply, to give Indians a very easy access to sport. As a parent, you don't know where to find a football coach for your daughter or a tennis coach for your son. So Khelomore will be that one-stop shop wherein it will give you whatever you need. It's not all available on the app right now. It's all venue-based, but over the next year or so, you will see
it's getting in place.
You will see Khelomore as being the biggest encyclopedia for you to open when it comes to sport. And India is the youngest country in the world. We have the youngest population in the world. So we need a platform like this. So what I'm doing, I feel, is just trying to be a good citizen and just building the ability for sports persons to have a voice and to connect with each other.
Beautiful, Jatin. A sportsman Jatin, educationist Jatin, intelligent Jatin, and all that comes in a good energy form of Khelomore.
Yeah.
Very nice of you.
Yeah.
Small advice for any youngster or anybody who's into sports or any other line?
I think, just never give up. Never give up. have a lot of patience when you are passionate about something. Be very patient with it, because that journey takes a long time, and it takes a long time for you to become good at something. So have that patience in yourself. So never give up, just believe in yourself, and every breath that you take is a gift. So just cherish it.
Super, Jatin. Nice to know and learn a lot of things of your journey. Thank you very much with the Dangal.
Pleasure.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.